It's the American by jcnewman Cigar Company. And jcnewman, I was delighted to learn, got its start in Cleveland, Ohio, which is where I'm from originally. And then I moved to South Florida and they did the same. So I followed them down.
I'm going to take my talents to South Beach.
And the cool thing about this cigar, the American, is that it's all American grown tobacco. And even the label is printed right here in the United States. I think in Orlando, if I recall correctly. But it was just a delightful smoke and a perfect size and just such a great looking band. And it pays homage to the Cuban roots of the cigar trade that was in Tampa, that jcnewman really, in conjunction with Corona Cigar Shop and I forget the name of the fellow who owns it, but he started a working tobacco farm in Florida, and I believe all of the filler and perhaps the binder is from that particular tobacco farm, and there's Connecticut wrapper, I believe, perfectly assembled right here in Florida. Again, I think it's so cool to be able to buy local. I think if you're an American and you purchase or smoke one of those evil Cuban cigars, your penance should be that you have to smoke one of these Americans for every Cuban you consume, whether it's in the U.S. or out of the country. That's, that'll be my first bill in Congress. The American. jcnewman. Julius Caesar Newman. And I guess there was no middle name when he came over from Hungary, and the border or the immigration officials in the U.S. suggested Caesar, and that stuck. So jcnewman actually stands for Julius Caesar. And I've got to go tour that place because the whole family is involved still. They were founded, I believe, in the late 1800s in Cleveland, Ohio. And I wonder if they knew my great-great-grandfather, who was a recent immigrant himself. It's a small world, and Cleveland is, it's a big place, but you're, I think, 1 degree or 2 degrees of separation from just about everybody in that town. So enough of my yapping. It is, it's not the strongest I've ever had, but it's strong. I would revise that medium full to medium high to full. It does have a different flavor profile than the cigar that I'm always referring to because it's my favorite, the Padron 1926 number 35. This is, it's its own. I don't want to say apples and oranges, but it's its own category, and it's not fair necessarily to compare it to that. What I am saying is it stands on its own, and I would have these, if I had the funds, I'd have a steady supply of these and a steady supply of the Padrones. Good job, jcnewman. I've not been disappointed by any of their offerings as of yet, and same goes for the Corona cigar people. So it's really cool to be in Florida. I moved down here with my wife and kids 15 years ago, not knowing that it was the cigar mecca of the Western Hemisphere, really. And every time I research a cigar that I've not heard of or not familiar with, it seems like their corporate headquarters is within an hour's drive from me. So maybe we'll do some road trips in future episodes. Now, I'm an admitted newbie to this cigar game, primarily because I used to smoke cigarettes. And because I smoked cigarettes, I didn't know how to properly smoke a cigar. And I would inhale them like I would a cigarette, and I would get sick off of them. And I told myself for many years, after I quit smoking cigarettes, that cigars should be avoided by me because the temptation to inhale was too great, and it could be a slippery slope back into the world of cigarettes. I don't know what happened. I think it was coronavirus. I lost my sense of smell and taste. But once it came back, I had a renewed appreciation for being able to smoke a cigar without doing anything other than just enjoying the aroma and the flavor and the taste. And so I got into it. And around the same time, one of my heroes, since I was 16 and I'm now 50, one of my heroes growing up was Rush Limbaugh. And I knew he was a big cigar smoker. And after he passed away, I was kind of curious, what kind of cigars did Rush smoke? And he mentioned a bunch of different sticks, many of which I've tried. In a weird way, it's sort of connecting. I've heard it say that it connects you with the primal thing of fire. In a weird way, I feel like it's a connection to Rush, or to a connection of a connection to a lifestyle that is sort of in your face. Like, the thing I like most about cigars is they piss off all the right people. So I was at we were hosting a birthday party here for 10, 11-year-old. About 3 or 4 of us were smoking cigars. And one of the boys' mom came in and looked at us with disgust, as though we were having some sort of illicit, cannibalistic orgy of rage. I mean, that was the look she shot at us. And I'm like, something clicked. That right there, that's why I do this. I want to piss off those people that need pissed off. There's a sort of a tangy sweetness to it, particularly in the retrohale. And that's a word I just learned. That's when you blow it out your nose. And another part of the fun is I've got one of those Navage machines. And so sometimes I'm able to just, get that thing dirtier than usual. But the retrohale is fun too. Like, sometimes I'll get seasonal allergies and I'll forget that I retrohaled, and I'll blow my nose and I'll be like, oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I retrohaled. Love the band so much. Very well constructed. I had it in my humidor for maybe a month, and I'm sure when I got it, it was in really great shape. And I got it directly from Corona Cigar, and their owner owns the tobacco farm that supplied the filler, if I'm correct. I also like that on the band that there's a Cuban flag, and so the American has really a double meaning. For one, it's made in the United States of America. Everything about it, including the packaging, including the boxes. But two, Cuba is part of North America, the Americas, Latin America. Any family company that can survive that long, they're doing something right. So it's like a strong, familiar cup of beautiful coffee at your favorite diner. When I end up doing something like this, I feel pretty stupid. I doubt it's a construction issue so much as it is me trying to rush this thing and not paying attention. This would be a very good cigar with an adult beverage, perhaps, or, gosh, even a cup of coffee. Now, I'm well into the second third of this thing, and I feel like I should say something profound, but it seems pretty consistent since when I first lit it up. You can definitely feel that nicotine buzz. So it's got that going for it. It's good to the last draw. It's still excellent, even with this little bit left. Good to the last draw. The American by jcnewman. I love it. It will have a permanent home in my humidor. Thanks for watching.